My name is Lecturer Clergy Bishop Kenya Michael Tome. I'm speaking today in Nairobi National Government, Embakasi Village. And I'm going to talk the Word of God from the book of 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 6. And our topic today is why are Christians believers suffering on earth? Why were Christian believers in God suffering on earth actually? You know, it is so astonishing that, people who are not God-fearing, they seem to be okay, all right, than even those people who are God-fearing human beings. They are leading a better life, it looks like. This temporal life, for the time being. We are reading this book called 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 6. And I just want to let you know, could it be great to be free of trouble? That is a question of my introduction. Could it be free? Could it be great for you to be free from trouble? I hope so. And likewise to me too. So this book can help you, which was actually written by Apostle Peter. He saw actually an increasing hardship and persecutions caused by some of the unbelievers to Christians, particularly Emperor Nero of Rome that time, when he wrote this book about A.D. 60 and 64 after Jesus left. You can subtract 2024 to get the real years. You know, he wrote somehow between A.D. 60 and 64, and he also wrote to the believers who are scattered throughout the region of Asia Minor in the present now country of Turkey. So remember, we are reading why these people suffering, particularly that time and even today in Kenya and other nations too. Why are Christians suffering? In the Roman Empire, Christians were considered that time to be antisocial and a threat to the unity of the Roman Empire at that time. So the ruler of that time, or the president of Rome that time, or the king of, it's referred as emperor, called Emperor Nero, saw these people as a social, considered as antisocial life, all right, and also a threat to the unity of, Roman Empire at that time, which is 60 AD 60 to 64. So because of that, like today in Kenya also, the state is fearing those people who are speaking the truth, like priests. Anyone who is a Christian normally speak the truth. And whenever they rebuke the government, they fear, even Kenya and other nations too, leadership. So that time, we are told the Christians did not entertain the moral cultures of a fallen world of Rome that time, which was a very bad government. In that, they have refused to worship the Roman gods, small g, false gods, all right? And they are also not supposed to participate, they refuse also to participate in the temple rites, which was actually a kind of a pledge of unquestioning kind of allegiance, all right, to the Romans, the Roman emperor. He wanted the people to honor him as small god, all right? So the Christian did not actually accepted that kind of a request from the Roman Empire. So to continue knowing what is happening is that infamous then persecutor of Christians, Emperor Nero, okay, attacked actually Christians to deflect a public criticisms leveled against him. He attacked them to silence the public of his bad government. Like most other dictatorial kind of rules government, including Kenya and other nations, all right, the government can sometimes even cause some problem to human beings. They can allow even people to die, like floods. You can see today, it's reported in the People's Daily Nation, 90 people have died today, 91. Today in Nairobi alone, because of floods. And the government silent. Another day, very few months ago, near Siampakas village here, Miradi area. A kind of a blast of gas plants. All right, it has actually destroyed so human beings. It has killed so many human beings, and thousands of them were also displaced and killed. All right, and displaced here in Siampakas village, people. All right, an explosion in a kind of gas company. All right, exploded with all vehicles. Some of them have been fleeing, like they were the one who was nearly to hit the police line here in Mbakas village station. All right, the head of the vehicle and the whole vehicle was flying because of explosive, obviously. Okay, improvised explosive device, kind of a thing inside it, a bomb. So the whole station is blown off, and also so many people affected. I went there to help them, and I was also got some kind of a health problem, coughing, and the recently now God has helped me to recover. So sometimes government can deflect this criticism of a bad government to let the people suffer, like even Rome that time and Kenya today and other nations. So remember during that time, Emperor Nero of Rome, Emperor Nero also started a kind of a devastating kind of fire in Rome city. All right, in July A.D.64, a devastating untamed forest fire type or prototype, which has cleared every people's property and so many human beings. And we are told he was dancing in his festive evening, musics, in his own banquet officials, together with his banquet officials, or politicians and also public servants, senior public servants of Rome that time. He was playing music when the country of Rome was burning that time. So we are also told the fire devastated the whole of that country of Rome that time. Okay, and we are also told he is the one who have ordered his servant to start that fire to clear the way for his ambitious building projects, like Kenya president building projects. Correct? So they used to go to where people are, particularly poor people, homeless, or those even with some kind of slum, living in slums area in Rome that time, and set fire, like Igombo in Kenya today, Nairobi, all the time, or not today, but most of the time, like Mradi have said it, like even Mikuru kwa Jenga, okay, Kenya, a fire used to, to come up, all right, which we think it is just like a prototype of this one. So infamous Emperor Nero ordered his servants to start a kind of a fire to clear the way for his ambitious building projects, so that he can take those areas and build his own homes, or estates, Emperor Nero estate, together with his officials, like Kenya today. So that is the kind of a person we are reading about. So the citizens of Rome were so outraged because of that, but they have nowhere to run to, because it is the government which was actually killing them. So he started that kind of a fire, all right, and he was unconcerned himself, all right, and he was playing music while Rome was burning that time. Emperor Nero also was reported to he couldn't quench his criticism, having done all those kind of evils. People have been criticizing his government and his governance. So the Christians were misunderstood to be minority that time, and they became a scapegoat of this Emperor Nero, which we are talking about here, of that time. He had made it a very clear crime to believe in Jesus Christ for Christians. He told them, no, I don't want you to be called Christians or to believe in Jesus Christ as your Savior. All right? Okay? And he denounced believers as atheists, or people who are not godly people. Atheists, people without religions. All right? Because he denounced that kind of Roman religions of Christianity at that time. So what that kind of Emperor Nero did, he fueled also rumors about the, a kind of, a private secret meetings with his officials that went far as to say that the Lord's table, which usually Christians used to practice in their ordinance, church ordinances, about Jesus, death and resurrection in Matthew 28, all right, or even Matthew 26, verse 26 to 27 verses. He also actually went as far as saying the Lord's table was a kind of cannibalism. Man-eaters, Christians are man-eaters to drink, to practice what is called the Lord's table of, partaking the blood of, in memory of Jesus Christ's death, and also breaking the bread, like the body of Jesus Christ broken that day. He called them cannibalism. So whenever Christians are meeting, they are being attacked and killed that time. And they are also referred as human flesh eaters because of that kind of Lord's table practice. So Emperor Nero tortured Christians as a barbaric spectacle that time, and some of them were crucified. Others were sewn into animal skins to be torn apart by wild dogs, like just animals. They are killed anyhowly. Christians, they are sewn with skins, animal skins, and they are torn apart by the wild dogs because they told the animals. So Emperor Nero also went ahead and to cover other Christians with pitch, P-I-T-C-H, and suspended them on poles and set on fire, all right, them as light for Nero's evening festivities. When you suspend human beings and burn them, they can lit like, lights the whole night because of the oil. Even the normal crude oil or petroleum is as a result of the fossils, which has happened, during Noahic kind of flood. Everything was finished except Noah family and his, 3 sons and wives of those sons, and 2 wives of Noah. The are spared, about 9 human beings. The rest are crude oil inside the ground, with all other living things, with some few species of animals, 2 by 2, which God spared to be in the ark of Noah. So remember, that man called Emperor Nero, suspended Christians on poles and set on fire as light for, Emperor Nero's evening festivals, together with his, officials, political class units, and also public servants, senior servants. They used to have banquets, and the whole of Rome is banned, and they are now lit. It is light. There was light all over because of humans suspended and, banned. That's the kind of a leader is reported here. So Christians were in peril during that time and had been set as the president, and Christians were not allowed to, were actually persecuted further. They became actually, Nero set them to be president, and President, and they became Christians were further persecuted than any other nation in the world at that time. So the resentment continued to grow against Christians for their opposition to the Roman culture in that time. You can read also 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3 and 4 to 4, and the book of Acts 19, chapter 19, verse 23 to 27. And in that time, one Roman governor executed many hundred Christians for refusing to burn incense to pagan gods of Emperor Nero. So if we read now our text today, which is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 6, it said clearly here, in this you greatly rejoice. He was encouraging Christians to rejoice under their hardship and persecution. Now, though now for a little while, because that will be just a little while kind of persecution or suffering, you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. He told them, in this temporal life, we have to suffer, but in a little while, we will again now be happy in heaven. Potential upper sky locations, which is reported in Isaiah 66, verse 1 and verse 2, and also in John chapter 14, verse 1 and 2, a place with many rooms, which is actually prepared for those who are believers who have confessed their sins in 1 John 1:9, and also have become now the children of God kingdom in John chapter 1, verse 12, and who have also confessed their sins and they are forgiven, even in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 18. No matter which color of your sins, God can forgive you. So remember today, such things do exist. Not only, non-believers can be anybody, can be even priests, all right? Can be people who can come of age to call themselves they are godly people. These Emperor Nero human beings, they are also Christian. They have their own religions. That's why, they want to be honored as as a religion. People who are following their own false gods. Even in the whole world, we have main roads which are leading to, for example, to Rome, but not all roads are right. All right, all right. Even in heaven, we have so many religions which are thinking that they're heading to heaven, but they're heading to hell. And we have so many people who are righteous, who are going to heaven, and we have so many people who also claim likewise to be right, and they're heading to hell. I went to Marsabit and I was astonished. The choir I left actually in Marsabit, Saku Constituency, Marsabit County Government, I left them 2000 to go and teach Narok Bible College pastors who are taking 4 years. Systematic theology, Christianity theology, as well also as historical theology, practical theology, exegetical theology. All right, I went to teach them those type of about 4 types of theologies. All right, and systematic theology. I said exegetical and practical theology. Okay, and also practical theology. So I went and teach them, and the choir left there. They are all finished. And what we discovered, one of the priests, is actually is not taking. He has not reported the matter. They have lost about 4 choir members who have been lured or given a kind of a deception to go and be in a kind of a youth camp of a Christian kind of function somewhere in like Samis Constituency, and they are left to come to Saku Constituency, their home, Songa, Saku Constituency, Songa location, African Land Church, and they are led to be killed by the terrorists, by the priest. He did not went there and report the matter in a police occurrence book. That is none other than priest, the one which I left actually in class 7, 1977, and he went to study theology at Pwani African Land Church Bible Institution. We used to train pastors a half day for 4 years, which is about evangelism, kind of a training in 1990s. It's called priest pastor, but now he's called by AIC bishop. All right, Daniel Dubugwa Lamadada. He left them to be killed together with other fake priests. And other also university students are killed likewise in the same kind of spots. And they all heap them in the church as a sacrifice. That is it. To bar or to deter Christians to go and worship God. So I was not happy when I went to Marsabit recently. Having been in Narok for so many years in county government, teaching pastors, African Church beside Bible College, and also Covenant College of Missions, pastors, and I came to Narok also and taught paramilitary general service unit here, Islamic theology and Christian theology discipline, particularly terrorist theology, because I have degrees, I have studied both, at Vision International University, Ramona, California, systematic terrorist theology also, and Christian good theology, and also Columbia International University distance learners have taken Islamic studies. All right, so many years, and I'm also trained as a, priest of African Inland Church and Kenya as a whole and the world at Africa Inland Accredited College at Kapsabet Bible College for 4 years. So I've taken training in theology slightly more than 10 years. And that's why I ended up being a teacher, lecturer clergy, Prophets, Settlement Bishop of Kenya Republic, which is actually distinguished by Kenya government, and they have also permitted me to be a priest, ordained priest. When I was teaching paramilitary general service unit as a civilian spiritual affairs here in Mpakazi, Utawala College, an equivalent force, an official force equivalent to Kenya Army or Kenya Defense Forces, in their capability of warfare, spiritual and physical, 2004 to 2016 for 12 years. So I reported the matter to District Commissioner of Marsabit, District County Commissioner of Marsabit, Mr. David Saruni. I reported also to OSPD Marsabit, Officer Commanding Police Division. Alright, Marsabit, you call it SSP, Mr. Edward Ndrangu. And I'm waiting now to hear what has transpired, or what are we waiting from that kind of a case. I have launched the case, and my OB number of a police report or current book, case 48, which of course I reported it on January 13, 2024 or 2024, case number 1827 hours. So I reported the matter. I also found another fake priest, which is having a kind of a degree from an unrecognized university called African Inland Church Sutwetwet, Kerisho. I don't know who is dishing out this kind of papers, giving fake priests who are actually alluding to terrorist groups in Marsabit County government or federal state to, to camouflage themselves to be priests, but they are terrorists. I also warned that one, and I also reported the matter to him, to the police, OSPD Marsabit, the one I've mentioned, and also the district commissioner. And also there's another teacher of Songa Primary School, a 2 years trainee. It's called Francis Lekanapan. And the fake priest, which actually I was holding a fake paper, is called Daniel Lesiole. Alright? Pastor Daniel Lesiole, which is not a pastor. It's me who have actually helped him to be in school, despite his age was very old, 2000. And he ended up being a class 8 dropout. And he went now collecting papers, calling himself a priest and alluding with the terror group. We don't know which kind of a group is this. He needs to be questioned also himself together with Lamadada. And that they are also primary school teacher called Francis Laganapal. They are alluding to kill Christians and other human beings too, obviously. They have also started now selling pipes. The one we are getting of irrigation pipes. We are getting water from, Mount Marsabit, Highland, Lake Paradise. And we are living ourselves in the residential areas of, British government settlers in Marsabit. Alright? Of 1952 to 1963. We have been settled there by an American missionary called Reverend Al Anderson, the late, who was actually sponsored also Moi during his school age. And he was buried when they had the accident here in Nairobi, Ngong Hills, alright, to get his wife, Esther Ford, at African Land, Kijabe Hospital, because of Moi order. He was actually sponsoring Moi, and also the district commissioner of Marsabit during colonial, era, rule of 1952 to 1920 to 1963. So what I want to say, I want the government to take actually, a kind of a exclusion. I want actually the principal secretary called Raymond Wall of, of Internal Security. All right, Raymond, and also Minister of Internal Security, Honorable, Kithure Kindiki, to exclude those children, those youths, about 8 of them, and also see those one who are injured, about 4, there are about 12 of them, and to exclude them from the church, in order for them the devil not to win, to keep on winning, to deter you from worshiping in the church, services, and also other functions. Because people now have, they don't want actually to go to where the blood of those human beings are crying in the ground, on the ground. in Genesis chapter 4, verse 10. Those parents and all people in Songa now, they have left actually attending services in African Church, Sago Constituency, Songa location, since Wednesday 18 on May 2005 to 2024. So the devil has taken over the initiative. The same priest again has sold actually, called Daniela Madada, Bishop Daniela Madada, has sold AIC, African Land Church Dispensary, with 20,000 Kenya shillings that time. On April again, 23rd, 1989. And he sold it with 20,000 Kenya shillings. A house which is a block house, which is actually situated in African Land Church compound, which is about 4 acres, and also was given 15,000, and then there was a remaining of 5,000. I don't know whether it was given or not. All right, by the assistant chief that time, which is a retired chief now, called chief as Mr. Solomon Alkayo Tapardai, and the people who have assisted the priest to take the money, Bishop Daniel Madada, that time, on April 23rd, 1989, one of them is the church secretary elder called Daudi Barnaba, and another one called Philip Lesoikat. So 3 of them managed to take 15,000. If you divide, about 5 of them, each of them took 5,000 shillings in that case. So the chief now decided to take the dispensary, because they told him, you have sold only materials but not the land. But it ended up being the chief now, assistant chief, took both the land 4 acres and also the dispensary as a whole. Okay, and start developing up to today. We don't want people to rob the government and to rob the places of worship and to rob the public in their own demonic way, like Achan's, General Achan of Israel, which has cleared so many Israelites until he was executed together with his family to be stoned to death together with sons and daughters. If you read Joshua 7, chapter 24, you will see they are all heaped in the valley of Achor in Israel to deter God's wrath coming upon human beings, because he has just hidden a kind of a gold, very small piece of gold, and other silver wedges, and some other few things, and he put them inside his tent, and people have been actually nearly to die. So Joshua ordered Israelites to stone them to death together with his family. All right, you can also sometimes go under God's wrath punishment in such kind of deaths, because if you read Exodus chapter 20, verse 13, you are not supposed to kill human being, to murder. And Deuteronomy 19, verse 13, blood is for blood. If you pour someone blood, you have to face capital death penalty. In all nations, just type of justice rule. Alright? You have to face it. Prophet Samuel also killed Agag, Amalekite king, which has cleared so many Israelites in 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 32 and 33, which King Saul of Israel refused to kill. And the man was a murderer. He has cleared so many Israelites. So, since I am a politician, and God also ordained priest of Kenya Republic Settlement, who is looking forward to be Kenya president come 27 elections, together with my vice president, His Excellency Honorable Kugubo, retired Kenya Army from Luya community, and I'm from Samburu, Narot, tribe, Maasai sub-tribe, Samburu, and himself is a Bantu, Luya, and our powerful Prime Minister will be also a Bantu, okay, Kikuyu sub-tribe of Kamba, will be actually our powerful Prime Minister, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, or His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, will be our powerful Prime Minister to help us in government, ministries affairs, and also state affairs, state agencies affairs. So remember today, my first wife also will be helping me in politics, is none other than Honorable Winnie Imga Raila Amolo Odinga. Youngest daughter, Winnie Imga Raila Amolo Odinga. Dr. His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, the current person who is heading to be Africa 54 countries president or chairman, daughter is going to help me in politics to be my first lady. Okay, Excellency Honorable Winnie Imgarela Molodinga, East Africa Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament currently, is going to be my first lady, first wife to assist me in politics come 2027 elections. So I need your prayers, and I want actually those people to be apprehended who have mentioned them, who have now spoiled the work of God in Marsabit by Internal Security Minister and his Principal Secretary, to order them to be arrested and to be questioned for what they have done. Alright? Otherwise, may God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. Amen.